Greetings, YouTube family. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ama-Live Worker, and I do psychic tarot readings right here on YouTube. I also do Akashic records reading. I do provide a variety of services like nutrition. I am a nutritionist with a 4-year college degree. I also offer Reiki sessions, face readings, energy clearings, and so much more. For those of you who would like to know more about me, please visit my website www.amalightworker.com and email me at amalightworker@gmail.com. If you are online right now, send me a little chat so we can chat with one another. I can see Deb. Hi, how are you? Love 888 Spirit, how are you? Betty Aldridge, hi. Rebecca Colacielo, Abstract Wellness. I hope that everybody is doing well. I also started to do a new series of channeling through the power of the Akashic Records. I am going to channel people who have crossed over, mostly personalities, people who were well known during their life on Earth, who have a message of empowerment for women, because the Akashic Records did indicate to me that these are the messages that my followers, my people need to hear right now, female empowerment. And if you take a look at my YouTube channel, in my last YouTube live streaming, I brought over Marilyn Monroe with some very interesting messages for you, and you also get to ask questions. For my next channeling, also please try to go to my Facebook page with the same name, I'm a light worker, psychic, and healer. You can send me your questions ahead of time. I will let you know who am I going to be channeling next. Okay, so this way we have a few questions ahead of time, and I'm going to let you know what time the channeling will be happening here on YouTube, or if I happen to record the video instead, so that we can all watch it together and we can also chat live, and it's going to be a whole new other experience. Kathy Robertson, Philosopher Fashion. Okay, so this live stream today is for the lunar eclipse that is taking place in July 4th or 5th, depending on where you are in the world. And for those who live in the United States, this also happened to be the Independence Day. So happy 4th of July, even though it's a little bit late, to all of you who celebrate it. Okay, please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Just hit the subscribe button right here. This way you are going to be notified every time that I'm uploading videos or I'm going live in this channel. You may also choose to be a member of my YouTube community. So to be a member, that means that you are purchasing additional services from me that are available to you, that these are services that are not available through my free YouTube channel. So you can either click the join button right here next to the subscribe, or if you notice in the show more description box, you're going to find a link. You can also notice useful information, the links that you may need right here on the chat button on the side of the screen. Okay, so allow me to hear what the Akashic Records have to tell you. What's the importance of this eclipse? What is meant to bring to all of us? Because this is the third eclipse in the series of 3 eclipses that began in June. It is a continuation of that energy of healing and transformation. It is going to bring through our personal issues around forgiveness, feeling heartbroken, closures, emotional closures that may need to be in effect at this time. And do pay attention that this is bringing forth the closing of the old cycle and is bringing forth A new cycle is going to kickstart your life, is going to kickstart the next decade, the next 10 years of your life. You are still dealing with karmic endings and new beginnings, but that emotional release, feeling emotionally free, being able to find your inner peace and your inner balance seem to be highlighted. The healing that you may need, that you don't know that you may need, okay, at a personal level, will be showing up. You are going to be getting signs of it over the course of the next 6 months. Many of you during this time may start to recuperate from any illnesses, any body aches, any discomfort in your body. If anything shows up to be healed in your body, okay, anything medically, in the next 6 months, it also feels that you are going to have a lot of support so that you can heal properly. So if anything comes up in terms of your health, they are asking you not to be afraid, because the powerful forces that are in action right now will help you through. In order for you to have this wonderful brand new life, of course, you are going to need a strong body. And that's why, if anything that you may not be aware of that is not functioning properly in your body, and it could be better, okay, in one way or another, will show up for you in the next 6 months. You are going to have a sense of freedom that you did not feel before. They're talking about you will be able to give yourself permission to be free, to free yourself from any burdens, financial burdens, emotional burdens, energetic burdens, so that you can embrace this whole new you. You are in some ways either reinventing your body, yourself, your image, your public persona, your appearance. You may be reinventing one area of your life. You may be reinventing your business. You may be reinventing a relationship in your life. In some ways, it is very clear to you as you are listening to this message right now. Where is it that things have been going on too long, okay, without giving any results? So now it is going to be much easier for you not only to see, to comprehend, to make a decision, but it is also going to be a little bit easier for you to follow through. That somehow you are going to be guided toward the right direction that is going to serve your highest good. And do focus on these words, your highest good. You have been operating so far, yes, by the desire to do good for yourself and for others. Okay, but now you need to connect from a whole new dimension, not only to your goodness, to your good, for your good, but for your highest good. In the hard time of the next 6 months to a year, each and every one of you will be on this 5-dimensional energy. So far, a lot of us have been creating this life out of our 3D consciousness, 3D mind, body, and spirit. Now, a whole new universe of energy, a whole new universe of opportunities is coming ahead, where we are going to be more aware of karma, our spiritual purpose, and how to apply that in our life so that you as a person can live your best life for your highest good, and also for the highest good of everyone that is connected to you. At a more universal level, at a more global level, people are going to start to become a little bit more closer to one another, to act from a place of unity, to find those groups, those ideals that not only serve you right personally, but it serves right the community that you feel that you are connected to, you belong to, and they serve to the highest purpose of anyone in this planet. Make no mistake here, you are dealing with universal forces, global forces that just as they are powerful, because right now uh, that powerfulness is being shown through challenges within the group that you believe, but also challenges, controversies, fights among groups, among races, among people who belong to different socioeconomic classes, among men and women. I mean, you say your rank, you call it, there's going to be controversies. And little by little, okay, everything will be replaced. It's going to be a long journey, okay, and it's going to be a slow journey to replace, okay, your point of view, so that all of us can also be able to see how all of us are one race. We are all connected, no matter where you live in the world, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your race, ethnicity, or a background is, or country you live in, country of origin. This sense of healing through unity, through being united, is going to be extremely very powerful. It's going to enable you as an individual to say grace to yourself, okay, to recognize your own greatness, and to forgive yourself unconditionally, to be able to also forgive others unconditionally, and not only to be able to reinvent yourself, but to be able, okay, all of us united by our energy, to reinvent this planet. They're talking about new babies that will be born, this new generation, these babies being born in the next decade or so, okay, and that energy already started. Some of these babies are born already. These are going to be human beings that are going to have a crystal clear heart. They are going to be a lot more aware of how strong we can be if we are united. They are reincarnated. They will be reincarnated here on earth to teach us one more way to love one another. Because so far, us as a generation, the generations before us, parents, grandparents, great grandparents, they had some difficulties to show love and to rediscover new ways of loving yourselves and one another. Generations before us had to go through wars. They didn't have the opportunities that we have nowadays, not only in terms of freedom, but opportunities for us to be happy. Now, in some countries, this could be the very first generation that maybe we didn't have to live through war. Right now, the war that we are fighting is invisible. And we are not just talking here about the virus, the pandemic. We're talking about those hidden forces that make you operate from the worst part of you. It is not so much about these forces being evil. That could be a misinterpretation for those of you who feel, who see it that way, not feel that way, but see it that way. Because they're saying every human being is highly intellectual. But sometimes we make a choice. It's a choice. You make a choice to be happy. You make a choice to use your intellectual capacity to create good or to destroy. Destroying your own goodness is included in that. So our new consciousness, okay, needs to come during a time where our bodies are also able and stronger to hold this new vibration. And that's why emotional healing and physical healing will play a major part in that. Among us right now in the planet, walking on earth with us right now, There are a lot more entities to help us than before. Energies that we don't have a name for it because as human beings we don't know how to explain it. But make no mistakes, not only you are walking every day with your angel spirit guides besides you, but um, supernatural forces, okay, supernatural energies are embarking upon earth, more and more of them, okay, to help each and everyone with our personal journeys and to help our own globe, this global change, this global movement, to help our planet. It is a time where in some ways we also need to think, rethink the strategy, the plan that we had for our future. Because whatever we believed to be true in our personal level, you may discover that maybe it's not so true. What you believe to be true about your friend, your best friend, your love relationship, your marriage, your family or particular family member, for yourself, now you may think like, oh, now I'm discovering a whole new dimension to this. It's not necessarily about being true or false. You are just rediscovering another force within yourself that maybe you were not aware before that you had this, because you never had something happening to you where you had to use, okay, this extra reserve of force, of courage, talent, invention, whatever it was. And you may still be dealing with fears, but this time around, where there's fear, there's going to be a lot more clarity on how to handle it. So the change this time around is our own personal ability to know how to deal with fear, to know how to find our courage, to be able to iron out any differences, any misunderstandings that may show up at this time. It's very important, though, that you do not misunderstand yourself during this process of reinvention. Everything will start again. But at the same time, be aware that this whole global pandemic, this whole global situation, it's not going to have one end and one beginning. It's going to have multiple ends and multiple beginnings until we as human beings learn our spiritual lesson. There is a reason why everything is happening right now in so many different levels around the world, political levels, racist levels, women's rights issues, um, issues of rape, children's rights, people who have these conspiracy theories, immigration issues, travel bans, because we are meant to learn something at a personal level and at a global level that separately, individually, we cannot win against these forces of nature. Okay, it is only through us being together, coming together in unity, that we are going to show that we are invisible. Because a great deal of your free will is involved in this process. You have to understand that each and every human being is equipped with free will. You are born with free will, and nothing is written in stone. So this is happening to give humanity a chance, okay, to correct our ways so that we can successfully cross over in this 5D consciousness, where we operate more and more from a place of absolute acceptance of yourself, absolute acceptance of one another, absolute love. At the same time, you need to be able to find your inner center, your inner peace. You need to be able to find, or maybe to create, with the power of your imagination, with the power of your vision, through the power maybe of guided meditations. If you don't have a physical place where you felt this peace in your heart, internal peace, you get to create a space in your mind with the power of your fantasy, the power of imagination. When you get to create a place in your mind that you always find this peace where everything is still. There is beauty even when everything feels like it stands still. There is beauty in everything. There's beauty in birth, there's beauty in death. And this is what's happening now. Forces are crossing over, and you are now going to rediscover a whole new point of view, a whole new philosophy, a whole new mindset for you to be able to find power in the process of death, in the process of being born, in the process of growing up, in the process of transformation. You are equipped with the ability to transmute forces and energies coming at you, and you are equipped with the ability to transform and transmute negative feelings that you may feel. Okay, so for many of you, they're talking about finally emotionally coming out of a dark place where little by little you're going to learn to manage your sadness, that feeling of feeling alone better, when you're going to start to feel connected, like you are wanted, you are loved, and coming out of depression. For some of you, they are talking about full-on depression that you have been suffering. Now you are going to come out of it. It may take a group of people to make you happy, okay? Social activities. It may take a medication that could prove to be very powerful and very helpful. Maybe for some of you, it is about your body's chemistry. Okay, for other ones, it's about psychological or emotional issues. But you are going to come out of it. And for some of us, it is about finances. There are people who are financially struggling through this, but they are also talking about miracles that you are going to encounter along the way, because the worst is not going to happen to you personally in your life. Because the more and more you start to understand the notion that spirit already is operating from your soul, from your heart, the very moment that your soul was created, the very moment of the inception of your soul, you were created with the spiritual DNA of God, of the Spirit of God. So when your soul descended in the body that you have when you are born, so did the Spirit within you. Because if you understand properly this notion, then you are going to understand that the more you are aware of this fact, the more spirit will start to show up in your environment, in your physical life, will start to manifest in every area and in every activity of your life to fulfill your needs and to fulfill all of your desires for your highest good and for the highest good of everyone else who is connected to you, for the highest good of everyone in this planet, for the highest good of this planet. You have requested to be reincarnated, to be alive during these times, these major shifts that are happening on planet Earth. And don't be afraid. It is about you little by little figuring out what's the next steps after this. You don't have to figure it out all at once right now. At a global level, they are telling me that they are going to be in different countries. There are going to be more women are going to unite. That female powerful force will be in action, where women are going to help one another to bring down sexual predators. If there is some sort of a systematic form of women being oppressed, for example, the invisible systematic sexual abuse that has been happening in glorified places like Hollywood, what's happening behind the scenes, politicians that we don't know about it that are involved in scandals or sexual scandals. Over the course of the next 6 months, there's going to be trials, court cases happening in different countries around the world where more and more of these scandals are now, people are going to find out more and more of it. There's going to be legal repercussions, arrests, and we are actually witnessing this happening now. And they are showing me one of Epstein's former girlfriends being arrested, and she was part of the chain. But important higher up people who have not only money but a lot of legal power that we don't know, no newspapers have written about it, are involved. And some of these names are never going to be revealed because a lot of people are afraid. Because they are showing me from this Epstein scandal, 80% of the people being involved who benefited by having intercourse with these women under 18, only 80% of them will be mentioned in the courts. Many of these names will be mentioned in the courts, or at least they're going to try to prosecute them, but doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to release their names to the press. They're showing me like 20% of them are so powerful that they're not going to even be able to have enough proof to send a warrant for their arrest. But they are also showing me that in this ring of prostitution, okay, they are also showing me also women, not necessarily women being used, but also women who requested his services. And as shocking as that may sound, that a woman can abuse sexually another woman, this is what is shown to me. They're also talking about the occult. Some of the people involved here are secret members of some sort of an occult where sexual procedures, something sexual was part of the occult. And these are practices that have been going on in secret for a long time that none of us knows about it. Even me, as I'm saying this to you, as I'm conveying this message to you, as I'm saying word for word what the Akashic records are telling me, I'm just shocked to hear about it. There are still on earth a lot of us that we don't know the difference between worshiping money and being connected to the flow of abundance of money. We still don't know the difference, what it means to worship money and what it means money and abundance showing up easily in your life as a result of your spiritual beliefs, your connection to that spirit substance that they explained to you already came with your soul. It's part of your spiritual DNA. Just like you have DNA, okay, it's part of that spiritual DNA. And this is also the first time for me that they are telling me about spiritual DNA. The first time that they are mentioning the word spiritual DNA to me. Some of the medical conditions that seem that are going to become a little bit more frequent, they're going to talk about blood-related issues, blood and heart-related issues, intestines, stomach, allergies, skin and allergies, food sensitivities, food allergies, foods that sustain your body, they give your body enough energy. A lot of us already felt this energy. I already felt it personally. That's why I haven't been able to upload the rest of the videos, to make the rest of the videos. For you guys on YouTube, I felt very lethargic, very tired. But at the same time, I felt like the more I was sleeping, the more I was healing. It felt like I needed this in so many levels. So for those of you who follow me, please understand that this needed to happen. And that's why I'm very behind in some of my work. So on and off, we are going to feel that need, that crash in energy, because it does need to happen. Okay, understand Even in our sleep, there's a lot that is happening. Spirit is working, okay? Even when our minds, our bodies are asleep, there's more information. It feels like more work that is going to help us to transition to this 5D consciousness when we become more aware of mind, body, spirit, okay, energy, and the spirit of God. They're talking about different chakras. We have the lower chakras are the most powerful. The root chakra, the sacral chakra, uh, the solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, crown chakra, all the way up to your aura, in other words, your stellar gateway chakra. So there's more and more work done on your energetic centers personally, but also Earth has energetic centers. And right now, they're mentioning some of these energetic centers are connected to the majority of Latin countries. So Latin America, there's a lot of work being done right now in different countries in Latin America. And if you have been observant enough, it is about you being aware. Be observant. Observe what is happening in your country. Observe what is happening in the city, in the state, in the country where you live, but also what is happening in other countries. A lot more healing, deeper healing needs to happen in the Latin American countries and also in all of these countries with indigenous population. It is the oldest, okay, population on earth. From all of us, indigenous people, they have more right to claim this planet than we have. They were here a lot longer than history or archaeology is ever able to tell or to prove. And more issues of how their rights have been suppressed. They don't have the proper care by the government in their countries. These issues, they're going to be more loud about it. They're going to find their voice to talk about it. But for us is a lesson to learn. Do whatever you can within your means. You don't have to go out of your means if you don't have anything to help. You can be their voice. You can help in other ways. You can be a little bit more active in speaking on their behalf. So everything that you can do within your means. Nobody is asking you to do anything out of your means. You have to understand that some time ago, I don't know what was happening in the Himalayas, I think, with the Dalai Lama, with a lot of people went to climb mountains, okay, because they had a very particular spiritual beliefs, and some of them it's very difficult to do that journey that far up high in the mountain. It was cold, snow, and some of them had accidents and they lost their life. You have to understand that God, if you understand that properly, understand that they're not saying that Dalai Lama sent the wrong message. He did not. It is how you personally understood that message. Okay, so again, nobody's asking anybody to go out of your way to do something with outside of your means to help a cause, to help the Aboriginal people or indigenous people, depending on how they are called in your country. Europe also has some of the oldest civilizations, the oldest people, the oldest DNA as well. And they are mentioning some of these small countries because everybody is interested to hear what happens in Germany, what's happening in England, in UK, what's happening in Italy, that are relatively, compared to other countries, in Europe, these seem to be strong and powerful countries and well-known countries. But nobody talks about small countries of the Balkans, like Albania, where I come from, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia. They are also mentioning I don't know what the proper name is. There's a small country between Spain and Portugal, Catalonia, or I don't know. Pardon me, they're trying to talk to me, but I can't remember that specific name of that country. So if you do, please write or type for me, leave a message in the comments below. And it is how these small countries are struggling because basically, compare this, they're giving you an analogy, is the small person against the person who has more power, more money, more resources available to them. And this is what's happening to different countries in the world. It's not about the size of how big the country is or the size of how big the population is. It's about the political power that they have in the international arena. And some of these small countries, nobody talks about it. And they're going through a lot. They're going through a lot. They are comparing this energy to what is happening globally, to what happened in the 90s, where systems were overthrown, mostly communist systems were overthrown, and where these countries were able to create a new government, and they are still struggling with finding the true purpose of democracy. Even in the United States, we have been a democratic country for God knows how long now, but there are still systems that do not serve, bureaucratic systems, laws that do not serve that purpose of democracy for all, unconditional democracy for all. So a lot of countries are having a hard time with that, not to mention that the financial resources are either reserved for people who are on top of their social standing, social group, okay, or for people who, for some reason, they are privileged because they are granted more access to it by different governments in different countries. We are meant also to find political systems that work better. Okay, we are meant to, for some country, there's going to be like a revolution happening when they are going to dismantle the old government and they are going to create a whole new government. Okay, doesn't mean that people are going to be happy with it right away or with a new leader. In a lot of countries is election season. People are campaigning for the next election to either become the prime minister of their countries or to become a president of their countries, just like is happening here in United States. And there's a sense that about 36% of these countries around the world are going to be disappointed with the next choice of president or with the next choice of the prime minister. And it needs to happen. Doesn't mean that it's good or bad, but understand that we need generations and generations still ahead for us to be able to have political systems, government systems, and leaders, presidents in different countries who understand what it means to have a purpose and to do your best, okay, for the purpose of your country and to sacrifice your needs unconditionally. And that's why this 5D consciousness is happening now, because those future leaders are yet to come. Okay, with this new generation, we are here to help them to fulfill their mission. But there's going to be more revolts happening in countries that in some ways are still affiliated to communism ideology. They are telling you that there are still active groups nowadays, even in countries who have never been a communist country. There are active groups, communist hidden groups that are operating for that. But when it comes to that news that is important, like the revolution happening in different countries, they're going to try to tell a different story on TV, or you're just never going to know about it. You're going to know more about what's happening in social media, who wore what dress and what they did and where they went, than the true news. The three news is the political news, the political environment that is unfolding. You may have been blind to your own truth because sometimes we are told in the family that this is what you believe. You don't believe in psychics, or you don't believe in God, or we don't worship money, or money is bad, or you have to be humble, or it's all about, fake it until you make it. Depending, every family is different. But at the same time, society teaches you like this is good and this is not bad. And based on that, we judge ourselves. That is all about a change, because now you are going to wake up and you're going to be like, I love helping people. What's wrong with that? It's not me, it's the others. Okay, but I'm going to do that now in a different way where I feel a little bit more protected. You cannot make somebody's heart stop loving, helping, stop loving love. Okay, and it is about us at a personal level taking responsibility about our errors, our mistakes, because first step of healing is to claim to take responsibility about our personal mistakes. We do make mistakes. It's not entirely the fault of the other party involved, the other person involved. And that's going to be mind blowing for you, because sometimes we don't know how we are harming ourselves, how we may be harming somebody else, or making a mistake. So it's going to be a whole new perception. You're going to be changing your mind, and it's okay. It's okay, because healing will be coming with that. If you changing your mind is going to give you the healing that you need, the healing that you want, then so be it. It's time to do our personal work, because that's the best thing that we can do for the universe. And helping one another could, again, do whatever you can within your means. Dedicate time to somebody. And you need to open up. A lot of us, they're saying that for a lot of us, you're going to have some sort of a breakthrough in a form of therapy. You may be taking therapy with psychologists, a coach, physical therapy, spiritual therapy. They're talking how you are now going to be able to find an important breakthrough. This could be a mental breakthrough. This could be an emotional breakthrough, a breakthrough with your finances. So little by little, all of that is going to take place in the next 6 months. And they're showing me that February, March of next year are also going to be important. A lot of breakthroughs for you personally, for the society that you belong, but also globally. However, the situation with the pandemic is going to be on and off well into next year. That's why they said this pandemic situation, it's not like it's going to have one ending and one beginning. It's going to be on and off. Therefore, in that regard, there's going to be many new beginnings and many endings. Because again, why? Because every person's free will is involved on that. And plus, Mother Earth needed to breathe. They have been abusing her. And I'm not talking you as a person, but globally as human beings. Okay, Earth also needed to take a breather. She needed oxygen. She needed to breathe. Earth is not only a planet; it's also an energetic dimension. So the only thing that you can do is be more aware of your thoughts, and be more aware of your energy. Be aware how also you energetically may be invading somebody else's energetic space, energetic privacy. Do the best for your highest good, because when you do the best for your highest good, the highest good is also the highest good for everybody else around you. You are going to find that lost hope. You're going to find that new purpose, that new solution, that brilliant new idea, that love may surprisingly and suddenly appear in your life. For some of you, they're talking about how suddenly you may find yourself in love. For those of you who are single. So simply love, respect who you are, be tender, loving, and caring with yourself. And it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to make a mistake. Okay? And learn to forgive, even with this, even with a mistake or that I made, or with an error, whatever you feel, free yourself from any guilt. Because when you learn to love and forgive yourself unconditionally, that's how you are able to love and forgive others unconditionally. They're talking about the influence of parents, grandparents in our life, and how now we are going to reestablish how much they influence us. If they are going too far with influencing you personally, if your parents or grandparents or whoever raised you are going too far with their influencing your ideas, your life right now, you're going to be like, okay, now understand how my life is different. I understand how I'm different. So now I'm going to start to influence my own life. That was the belief of my parents, and it worked well for their time. But now these are different times. Okay, so that knowledge, those beliefs, those religious beliefs do not apply any longer. Everything shifts, changes, and so will our beliefs. Okay, we have to go with times. We have to be able to adapt and to adjust to new situations. So adapting and adjusting to new situations will be taking place over the course of the next 6 months. But do be aware, in other words, that this pandemic situation is not quite over. It's going to be on and off also next year. Of course, it's going to be happening differently, just like it happened in different countries. And they're talking about somehow you're going to feel that magically just disappeared. Okay, but again, we are going to be under that influence. Okay, we still don't know how long this is going to last. So far, they're just telling you and me that there's going to be, continuation of this also in some parts of next year. Okay. They're mentioning Meghan and Harry and the importance of this couple. It is linked not only with the history of England, but it is linked to planet Earth history, the history of us as a globe. And this is not about those who criticize them, or this is not about who love them. This is about they have karma. They have been reincarnated to come together, to fall in love, to marry, to create a family, because their uniting, their coming together is going to initiate a global activism, is going to initiate a whole new history on Earth. Just like Henry VIII influenced a whole religion with the decision to break apart from the Catholic faith, from Catholic Rome, from Vatican, okay, to give everybody the freedom to divorce if they wanted to, okay? That was the spiritual reason why he married Anne Boleyn, okay? And karmically, this couple is connected to that. They're telling me that she represents change that many radical people do not want to. They want the system to be as is. Okay, and she is facing real threats. They're showing me how this couple, particularly Meghan, has been getting some serious threats against her life that she will never talk to the public about it, at least not in a few years. But how these two people are, even energetically, are in serious trouble. And there's a sense that if you feel it in your heart, also to pray for them, because you don't know, like both of them, they are meant to come together, fall in love, because they do represent breaking this old tradition of royalty, old rules that no longer apply, no longer help humans or themselves to break free from that, to create new systems. And we're talking about systems where you still have to bow to another person, even if you are not in an official event, and how that needs to soften a little bit. There's way too many rules. Understand, if you are born a royal, you have a karmic contract with that. It was decided for that to happen. So these two people, simply by falling in love, they're fulfilling their karma, and they are meant to help us later, so many years from now. They are we as global people, we are going to be able to understand, okay, their intention. And they are also telling me that there were a lot of people scheming against her, even people very close to them who work for them. They are still showing me people who were very close with his brother, Prince William, okay, who in some ways they're not trustworthy. They leak information, um, or they're just don't necessarily approve of everything that they're doing, and they're trying to manipulate them in some way. So they're telling me that they are surrounded by people who are necessarily 100% trustworthy, and they're telling me that you have no idea what was happening behind the scenes when they made that announcement. Because it wasn't, they weren't prepared for that to happen then. They were going to do it the proper way, but they're also showing me people blackmailing them, threats, and there's still a little bit of that going on still. However, they're going to be safe physically, they're going to be safe financially, they're going to be safe. They just wanted to let you know the importance of that, and it must be related to the energy of these eclipses. How sometimes that one person brings a change that is meant to influence not only one country, but a few countries or an entire religion, to maybe create a whole new movement. Like Martin Luther King, he created a new movement. Protestants, I forget, I don't know who initiated that. Maybe his name was, no, the Lutheran Church. Okay, only that one person, okay, created something new, because his karma was connected to the karma of the whole humanity. Okay, he brought forth a whole new religion. And for those of you who are going to separating from a person, separating from a cause, separating from a belief, separating from a group of people because you no longer believe in them, or you're just going in separate ways, don't be afraid to separate. It feels like it's karmic. Don't be afraid to separate. Whatever separations need to happen now, they served their purpose. So a lot of karmic events are taking place. So I'm going to take one or two questions if you do have any. My time today will be a little bit limited. I don't know if you guys want to ask me anything. Could be about the pandemic, could be globally, could be a personal question. Okay, I guess not. I don't see the chat moving. I don't see anybody asking anything. So let me see what they say, and then I'm going to close. You can always contact me for a personal reading. Please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or visit my website, www.amalightworker.com. So Kathy Robertson, my mother is trying to stop child sex slavery in American polygamy. Do you see any success? They're showing me that the purpose of your mother, because this is something that will take a few generations to resolve that matter. But the purpose for your mother personally, it feels that is connected to 2 to 3 subfamilies who have the same leader, or maybe the is one guy who has multiple wives, and it feels like your mom will be able to find some solution or to get out of that circumstance of the polygamy. They're showing me 2 or 3 small families where the woman has like 2 or 3 children. One of them is going to be a boy, but it's going to be years from now. However, for right now, she is. They are encouraging her to keep fighting for that, to keep advocating. Right now, she needs resources. She needs to be a little bit more vocal to raise awareness. And even for you, Kathy, you can help your mom raise awareness, because by raising awareness, you get to attract lawyers who are willing to work on this, maybe pro bono, financial resources, and it is a matter of changing the law. So if that needs to happen in the United States or anywhere else in the world, stronger laws need to be in effect, and they need to eliminate some of these older laws that nobody, is aware that there's a state law, okay, where it allows for that to happen. New, stronger laws against any form of slavery, not only polygamy. Okay, just slavery in general, because they are connecting to your question to the very creation of slavery, even before the Roman Empire times. And those kind of laws, they need to change. We need stronger laws. So if you could be a lobbyist, okay, work with the governments to change laws in different states, and also laws for United States. Okay, so when is change coming? This is change. It's happening little by little, whether you are able to see it or not. This is change. It's not going to be like a bing, boom, boom, and that's it, change. It's happening little by little, and it will continue also next year. Okay, this is it. Global change, personal change, this is it. Heather, this is a little bit more of a medical question. I have to say a disclaimer about that. I'm a nutritionist. I can give you advice based on nutrition and also on the advice of the Akashic Records, but you still need to talk to a medical professional if you have any questions about medical questions. So they're saying, so you have to understand, you have to explain the question. In what way do you mean affects the fetus? So they're talking about the rhesus. I don't know if that's how you call it in English, but where it's negative or positive. And that's the only thing here that seems to be important, whether the blood of the mother and the baby have the same rhesus or not. So that could be a circumstance, but doesn't mean that it's your personal circumstance. So this is just an example to tell you that the clearer the question is, the clearer the answer will be. The Akashic Records know everything about you, but I don't know you. So please don't take that question personally directed to you. That was just as an example. You may want to have a private consultation about that, but again, do talk to medical professionals about your personal circumstance. So music, if you let me know the name of the Bollywood personality, so I can ask more specific questions about that. I don't have any indications of any civil wars happening in United States. I don't know. I lost that question. I don't know if that's what the question was about. There's not going to be a civil war, and there's not going to be the need for the military to prevent anything. You are very welcome, Kathy Robinson. So, Colonna Christensen, when people book for a private Akashic Records, I will ask them for your legal name that you currently have, exactly like your legal name appears either in your driver's license or passport, because I do need to use your name in a prayer. I open your reading with a prayer and I close with a prayer. And in this prayer, I need to incorporate your name. So you need to let me know your legal name exactly as your name appears in your driver's license or your passport. And if you do happen to also have a nickname that you very, very much like, that you very much associate yourself with, please do let me know your nickname. as well. Chrissy, I have a sense that actually your horse is going to need something stronger than herbal remedies. So they highly recommend in this case for you the veterinarian. The veterinarian. I don't have the sense that this is how your horse will die, not just yet. But I have a sense that he's going to need stronger medication. So do take into the vet the herbal remedies that you are using right now are working, but are not enough. He's going to need, the regular medicine for that. So that's what they're telling me. So the question is about a Bollywood celebrity. I don't know how to say his name, Sushant Singh Rajput. And the question is, if you tell me again, so the question is whether he was murdered or not. Yeah, I lost that question. I don't know where that is now. Because I have a sense that there's going to be a second investigation in this case. So they're not talking about one investigation, they're talking about a second investigation. In about 3 years' time, more details will be revealed about his case. So there's a lot more in this question. Okay, so it's not about like you don't know him in person. So they're saying if you were to know him in person, you would know that there's a lot more to his circumstance. And there's going to be a second trial to look into his case where more details will be revealed. And that's all they're saying at this time. So, Chrissy, to go back to your question, I feel like your horse needs to sleep, it feels, and I have a sense that he's not going to be able to properly use either his hip or his leg, but for the time being, rest, rest, rest. And those antibiotics are very good. And something about he needs the temperature not to be too hot, not to be too cold. So I don't know, where in the world do you live, but that's what they're showing me now. And it feels like animals have personalities, and they're showing me that the personality of your horse, he needs a lot of caressing, touching, speak softly to him just like you would with a person. So this horse has a very strong personality. Just talk to him. He needs emotional support just like a person, but that's what they're describing to me. Oh, thank you so much, Liz. She's recommending the package of the Akashic Records and Healing. I have the service for 250 when you can purchase an Akashic reading, an energy healing, and plus 30 minutes gift of a service of your choice. If any of you is still interested for that, that is still taking place. Email me directly if you want to benefit from that package. So it's about 3 hours or more, and it will be personalized and tailored to you. So abstract wellness. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is part of your personal process. It feels like energies are moving and shifting in your body. On those moments when you feel chills, or in those moments when you feel like a little wave heat, it means like energy is moving. Something about your emotional heart. Okay, and it's energy from the past that needs healing. Oh, thank you, Anna. It's a royal blue. So I don't have a sense, RT. You wanted to know if you were going to be okay at work because this week because there's going to be an audit. I don't have a sense that you personally have to worry about. There's stuff maybe in your department. I don't know exactly how that works, or at your work that minor things that need to be looked over. The audit or the auditor may be coming back again, but I don't really see anything personally for you to worry about. It's just a procedure. There's going to be a lot of paperwork and going over numbers and some minor things that are going to call for adjustment, minor things that are going to be worked out. Like I get the sense that whoever they're sending to do the audit, they're going to be willing to work with the company or with you, in other words, to make payments or whatever needs to happen. So I have a sense that you shouldn't be afraid. That's what I get. That's the sense that they're sending me. So the company or you are going to be able to work with them to resolve some minor things that may be showing up. Oh, thank you, music. So again, if you like to purchase the package, email me at amalightworker@gmail.com, or you may also contact me through my website www.amalightworker.com. Oh, Deb, thank you so much. So Deb is saying that she had an Akashic reading and clearing. Thank you so much for your compliment, and I'm glad to hear that it did help you. Thank you so much. Aloha, Diane. So Cherokee Gonzalez, it's not, you have to understand that the Akashic Records pick and choose what questions they're going to answer at this time. It's not like I decide that. Because, and in your case anyway, they're telling me that your free will needs to be involved in whether you want, do you really want to be discharged from a military final, or your discharge needs to be final. If you this is what you want, you have to work toward it. In your case, they're telling me that your free will needs to be applied. And anyway, they're showing me something between 6 to 8 months, and there's going to be steps to make this final. It kind of feels like it's going to be final, Cherokee. So I hope that this is making sense to you. But again, also to everybody, don't take it personally. I don't decide and pick what questions are going to be answered. The Akashic Records do. Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. Aisha, it's just a temporary thing. Just give him a couple of days. I have a sense that you and your boyfriend are going to start talking again. So don't think of this fight as, and he's going silent on you as final. They're telling me like the story between you and your boyfriend is not quite over yet. Just don't panic over it and allow him to get back to you at his time, because he's very angry right now. It's best that he's not answering, because if he does, it's going to be even worse. I get the sense that like he's pissed off about something right now. That's the sense that the Akashic records are telling me. So I hope that this is making sense to you, Aisha. Oh, love 888 spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love. 888 spirit. They're showing me something will be delivered at your door, like a gift or a super. I don't know if you ordered anything online, but I get a sense of a gift coming your way. That's what they're showing me. So, Liz, will schools be opening up during this fall? It's going to be in selected schools, and they're going to have new rules about that. So they're telling me that each school or each school district will be given the freedom to act as they see it fit. Okay, so they're showing me like the older children, they're going to be allowed, who are a little bit more able to get and are okay with being taught online, they're going to do that. But for younger children, they're going to make some arrangements, because basically when they get them to school, they have to arrange seating at an appropriate distance from one another. So that's going to be up to each individual school district. But again, even with schools, going back to regular programming, regular teaching is going to be on and off even throughout next year. They're showing me in that regard, Florida is going to be a county where there's going to be some problems with that. There's something about Florida where they're going to be getting a lot more cases that Florida as a state is prepared for, and a lot of it will be connected to kids going to school, whether these are universities, colleges, or elementary or grade school. So for people, somebody with a name with a lot of numbers, S3V something, you send someone is going to contact me. Do you know who's having lots of vivid dreams? So you have to understand that we are under the influences of these eclipses, and also people who have crossed over on the other side, whether these are celebrities that you like, whether these are your loved ones, people that you know that have crossed over, all of them are coming, are working on our behalf on the other side to help us. So it's not unusual during this time for people to have vivid dreams, or for our loved ones to appear in our dreams, or to get some sort of a sign for them, from them. So the abstract wellness, what you are getting, or that vision or that sense that to you it feels like spirit is dealing with infrared therapy. They're actually working on your chakras right now, but there's going to be, I mean, this is besides your question, is not connected to our question, but they're saying there's going to be new invention where infrared therapy or laser therapy are new technology using laser and also infrared light, or I don't know what they call it. There's going to be a lot more inventions like that in the medical field. So that's a good thing from these eclipses. Dragon Rising 11, who are my current guys and what do they want me to know? Right now, they are showing me your animal spirit guides. And understand that you have your guides that have always been there with you. Okay, but you also have temporary guides who are meant to work with you for a period of time. And right now, your animal spirit guides are showing up for you to help you with your direction in life, and also to help you with some matters of your physical appearance. And they are here to show you humility and patience. Humility, be humble, be patient. They are here to help you with some anger issues from the past. I'm not saying that right now you are experiencing anger issues, but from the past, okay, because the energy of those feelings is still in you. It's a little bit suppressed right now. Basically, they are helping you to be more aware of your energy and to be more aware of your power. Potentially, who could you be? You need to understand your full power, and they are here to help you, for you to fulfill or to operate from the 100% from the strength of your gifts, of your power, to awaken, to reconnect you with the strength of your power. Abstract wellness, you don't need to do anything. They're doing all of that work for you. Just rest, sleep, okay, and just let them work on you. Just be aware, know that a lot of work is being done on your body and also on your energy. So Anna Dennett, my granddaughter is communicating with the spirits, but I'm not sure. So she said, what should I do? So they're saying the only thing that you can do is, as a grandmother, is just to make her understand that these kind of things exist. But whether she's really communicating with the spirit or not, it's strictly between her and the spirit. It is not for us, me or you, to judge that. The only thing that you can do is to let her know that these kind of things do exist. Spirit does exist, and communication with spirit does exist. Your daughter right now, your granddaughter, I'm sorry, she's discovering new energies. She's exploring. So ultimately, it's going to be her choice whether she likes to continue to do this as she grows older. But I have a sense that right now this is benefiting her personally. It's not about her right now to do this professionally or not. There's something about her special connection to the spirit, okay? And spirit is helping her through something. Basically, the best gift for her is going to be just to show her support. So it's not for me or for you to judge whether the communication, the messages that she's getting are real or not. But they're telling me that your granddaughter they're showing me the sun and she's bright, like smiling. You don't have much to worry about it. RT, should you continue with the intermittent fasting? They're showing me that for right now it is, but also remember that every once in a while give yourself a break. Every once in a while you also give yourself a cheat day, or if you happen, but it was your intention, but maybe you weren't able to follow through with the fasting that one particular day, no big deal. It's not going to affect your whole diet. I'm showing a few more weeks for you, and then after that it feels like a few more weeks. I don't know if the goal is for this to be a lifestyle choice or just to lose weight, but I get a sense like give it a few more weeks. It feels like it's working. So for Liz, I have a sense like they're showing me mid-July. It feels like, I don't know, even the state where you are located, I don't remember exactly where you are located. They're showing me it's not going to be a big of a problem. I get a sense of you're going to meet in the park. Maybe you're not going to kiss and hug right away, but the next time around, you guys are going to get together. It feels like sooner or later she's going to need you for babysitting. That's what they're showing me. Okay, that's what they're showing me. Okay, so they're telling me to close now. This is a little bit too much for me. I also have to be careful with my own energy. So I'm going to get ready to close. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their loving compassion. I would like to thank the Lord of the Akashic Records for their point of view, and I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Again, some of your questions were a little bit of a private nature, and I needed to know more information from you in order for me to answer those questions. And if you feel that you do need a private consultation, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or go to my website, www.amalightworker.com. You can always subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, subscribe, or you can join the membership program. When you join the membership program, you have access to different tiers, and in each tier I provide additional information for you. So you're going to find that information linked down here below in the show more description box, and I will reconnect with you soon. And don't forget to also follow me on my Facebook page. I will try to add that my Facebook page, the link to my Facebook page, also in the comments down here below. Thank you, everybody, and have a great Sunday. I'll see you later. Bye.